It's been a year since the Countach made its triumphant comeback at the Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance when Lamborghini began testing the new limited-run vehicle on public roads for the first time. The Lamborghini Countach has always been a high-performance sports car. On display to mark the 25th anniversary, Lamborghini presented two Countach models, the first of which was the first ever built, and the second, the final 25th anniversary model to be built. So what does the new Lamborghini Countach feature, and how is it reminiscent of its predecessors? Stay tuned. The Lamborghini Countach was one of the penultimate cars constructed under Ferruccio Lamborghini's guidance, and it was designed to improve upon the comfort, elegance, and performance of the pioneering Miura. Although the Countach was originally known as Project LP112, its official name was changed after a style assistant exclaimed with delight when she saw the finished concept car, prompting usage of the Piedmontese phrase "Contact" to convey her delight. Despite the fact that the Lamborghini Countach was unquestionably one of the greatest performance and styling vehicles of its time, it wasn't enough for some of the world's most disconcerting automobile enthusiasts. During a test drive in the Wolf F1 Racing Team's LP400 in the 1970s, Walter Wolf found that the car was not up to his expectations. The Countach was scheduled to have its world premiere at the 1971 Geneva Motor Show. The Countach, on the other hand, was not available for production until 1974. Ferruccio Lamborghini's finances were in chaos at the time, due to the failure of both his tractor business and Lamborghini automobiles. While Lamborghini shareholders were unable to turn the Countach into a commercial success, the company's founder moved to the countryside to produce wine. By the year 1980, Lamborghini Automobile was declared bankrupt. The Countach was formally federalized for sale in the United States in 1982 and went on to become the automaker's largest market in the next decade. Going back a little, over the course of its life, the Countach has experienced a lot of transformations and improvements. The original 1974 vehicles, known as Periscopio, were distinguished by their odd periscope-style rear-view mirror layout. They were the most straightforward in terms of look, lacking all the various gimmicks that would come to characterize the succeeding cars. Power came from a 3.9-liter V12 engine, which produced 375 horsepower. While working at Bertone, Marcello Gandini created a wedge-shaped body with futuristic scissor doors for the car. The LP400S Countach was first introduced by the firm in 1978. The Countach's unique and massive V-shaped rear wing, as well as larger fender flares, wheels, and tires, were all introduced here. In spite of Ferruccio Lamborghini's well-known disdain for motorsports, which resulted in the demise of Gianpaolo Dall'Ara's career as chief engineer, the Countach served as the official safety car for the Formula One race weekends at Monaco Grand Prix from 1980 to 1983. It wasn't until 1982 that the engine's power was increased to 4.8 liters, at which point the car was given the moniker Countach LP5000S. The Countach LP5000 QV was the first vehicle to use the Italian name Quattro Valvoli, which literally translates as 4 valves. The V12 engine was redesigned with 4 valves per cylinder head to improve efficiency, and horsepower was increased to 455 horsepower when equipped with 6 downdraft Weber carburetors, hence the term downdraft cars, or 415 horsepower when equipped with the Bosch fuel injection system required to meet federal emission standards for vehicles sold in the United States of America. And in comparison to European spec automobiles, the impact bumpers of American spec vehicles are significantly larger and heavier. When the 25th anniversary edition Countach was introduced in 1988, it was restyled by Horacio Pagani, who went on to create his own supercar company. When the Countach made its debut, it was widely regarded as an insult to 1980s XS as well as an in-joke parody of the earlier Periscopio models, owing to its excessive use of theatrical stylistic traits and overgaping ducts and airfoils. A prototype of the Countach Evoluzione was built by Lamborghini in 1987, and it served as a forerunner to the development of the Diablo, the Countach's replacement. It was in 1990 when the Countach was eventually phased out in favor of the Diablo. Several aerodynamic modifications were included in the unibody chassis, which replaced the previous steel tube frame, some of which we see on the 25th anniversary edition of 1988-90. In the creation of this automobile, a large number of composite materials were utilized. In addition, the all-wheel drive powertrain of the Diablo was put through its paces. The lone Countach Evolution that was ever produced is no longer in existence. Now, decades later, the Lamborghini Countach has come back to life. Since the Miura, a V12 engine positioned in the middle of the car has been the distinguishing element of a Lamborghini flagship vehicle. Following in the footsteps of its predecessors, the new Countach is powered by a hybridized 12-cylinder engine borrowed from the Sian hypercar. To further improve throttle response, a V8-12 electric motor is added to the combustion engine's output, increasing its output by 34 horsepower. The supercapacitor, on the other hand, produces more than 2 times the power of its predecessors. In any sense, the Lamborghini Countach is not little. At 44.84 inches off the ground, the vehicle has an overall length of 191 inches and a width of 89.17 inches, a height of 106.3 inches, and a wheelbase of 106.3 inches. It's a breathtakingly low hypercar with incredible acceleration. The Countach accelerates from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 2.8 seconds, which is half the time it took the original Countach. This is made possible by a 7-speed single-clutch transmission. The top speed of the new vehicle is projected to reach 221 miles per hour. In lieu of producing a copy of the 1974 original Countach, Lamborghini has created a forward-looking descendant of the car that incorporates classic traits of the Countach, as well as contemporary Lamborghini design cues such as triple hexagonal LED taillights, the NACA intakes in black on the sides, as well as distinctive periscopial lines that run from the top to the back deck, are all classic characteristics of this vehicle. The rear light housings, which have trapezoidal edges and deep side grills, are likewise inspired by the original design. The design of the original Countach was not the only groundbreaking component of the vehicle. The supercar's chassis was built on a cutting-edge tubular space frame chassis, and Lamborghini says that its modern-day version is built on the most advanced chassis technology available. The Countach's dramatic wheels are an apparent rip from the original model and are made of Pirelli P Zero Corsa tires, and the monocoque chassis and the body parts are made of carbon fiber. The car weighs 1.595 tons. The photochromatic glass roof of the new Countach turns from opaque to transparent at the touch of a button, lending a futuristic feel to the interior. Custom comfort seats, geometric stitching, and a square pattern on the dashboard are also included in the retro-inspired flagship vehicle's interior. A total of 112 vehicles were constructed, each of which included the most up-to-date Lamborghini powertrain technology, as well as a design that is distinctly Countach-like, as well as a few pointers to the original model. At the beginning of the first quarter of 2022, the Countach Lpi 804 was made available for purchase by clients worldwide. For those expecting to get their hands on one of the company's new hybrid hypercars, they're out of luck. When the car's big debut was announced, every single one of the cars was sold out, as is typically the case with these high-performance automobiles. The new Countach was the costliest new model, with a price tag of $2.64 million. Because of Lamborghini's extensive list of features and customizable options, the final pricing differed significantly from one buyer to the next. Of course, the $2.6 million was the only starting point of the price. On the appearance, the Countach and its predecessor have an eerie resemblance, but on the inside, the two vehicles are very different animals. Only red and black interior of the Lamborghini model that made its official premiere is a visible hold on from the past. With the exception of that, the cockpit for the two-seater Lambo is identical to that of other contemporaneous Lambos. The instrument panel is all digital, the steering wheel is devoid of buttons and equipped with massive paddle shifters, and the center console is a jumble of switches and other controls, all of which are easily accessible. The Countach's cabin, which may be customized to meet the specific demands of each customer, is minimalistic and has a small cabin space. The infotainment system on the Countach, like those in prior Lamborghinis, was also added as an afterthought. Customers can also use the 8.0-inch touchscreen to play music or listen to the radio, access car settings and features, and make a broader number of other adjustments using the touchscreen. Apple CarPlay, a variety of driving modes, and climate control round out the interior goodies. There's also a specific style button on the inside that explains Lamborghini's Countach's design philosophy. The 2002 Countach model from Lamborghini is unquestionably a masterpiece for today's automotive vans. No, this isn't a supercar built to compete with others in its class. Actually, it's a hypercar that goes above and beyond the rest of the pack. So, what do you think of the new Lamborghini Countach design? Well, thanks for watching the video. We'll catch you in the next one.